My name is Reverend Kevin McCall. I'm the National Crisis Director for the National Action Network. And I have with me to my left is Minister Stephen Marshall, who is the liaison to Reverend Al Sharpton. I have to my right the mother, Ms. Spencer, who is the mother of Mr. Santana. Also, I have community advocate, activist Chris Banks, Assembly Member Charles Barron, City Councilwoman Inez Barron. We just finished a meeting with the high officials with the District Attorney's Office. We met with the head of the Bureau for the District Attorney. The District Attorney was not present, he was out of town, but he sends his regards and offered his support by any means necessary regarding this case. He also said that he will be reaching out to the mother to set up an additional meeting when he comes back. We have faith in this District Attorney's Office to be able to fight for justice, but we want to make sure that we've been down this road before. We've been in meetings with the District Attorney's Office, and we gave them hope and prosperity, and they have failed to prosecute, failed to bring justice to this family and to many families. So meeting is good, but we want to make sure that they investigate thoroughly, not sweeping under a rug. We want to make sure that it happens swiftly, and we want to make sure that this officer not just face mortified duty, but be off the force immediately. We cannot stand by and allow a New York City police officer, sergeant, who has a rap sheet longer than the law allows, to operate in New York City. There was no weapon involved. This wasn't about a robbery. This was about a mad officer who did not control his temper and did not control himself. And he should not be on the force. He should not be in the New York City Police Department. At this time, we will have community advocate Chris Banks will come and say a few words.
We are calling for justice. The community is calling for justice. This assault wasn't just on Trayvon, but it was on the entire city of New York. When you have a rogue officer who decides to take actions into his own hand, and this is something we can't allow. So we are asking for justice. We want a speedy indictment, and we want this city to begin to heal, because until we get justice, we won't heal.
I also want to add that yesterday afternoon, the district attorney has called me and said that he wanted to meet with this family as soon as possible.
Right.
Because he wanted to know what was the ins and outs of this case. And so that is the reason why we met with the higher-ups in the district attorney's office very quickly. At this time, we will have Assembly Member Charles Barron.
First of all, this mother here was violated by those that we paid to protect us, shot her son in the face twice. This was an attempted murder.
That's right.
Attempted murder of a person who was unarmed. The police initially lied. They tried to cover it up and say it was a robbery. They said he had a knife. He had shorts on, no weapon,
That's right.
no robbery.
That's right.
And this mother was violated. Her son has a civil right to walk peacefully through his community without some maniac,
right.
fool out of his mind trying to murder him.
That's right.
When you take your gun out on an unarmed person and you deliberately point it in their face and pull that trigger twice, you are attempting to murder somebody. And for what? For what? We're going to get to the bottom of this. I want the mother, she's only going to say a few words because she wants justice. We know the least she says today, the better chance we have. And as was said before, I've been in this struggle a long time. We've got indictments, we got conviction, and then they recommend no jail time for a killer cop. We've had those who didn't even get indictments. And we know that the DA's office has a close relationship to the police department. So we don't want no rhetoric, no verbiage that you're supposed to say at this stage. We want justice, and they get angry at me when I say this, but we cannot continue to come this route and you let police go. So there's going to come a time where people are not going to come here. When justice is denied consistently, violence is inevitable. And when there's an explosion in New York City, don't blame me, the social forecaster, just like you don't blame the weatherman or the weather meteorologist for the storm. They predicted if we don't get some kind of justice, case after case after case, we've been here. Then we gotta try to go to the Justice Department if we don't get justice here, and that's Donald Trump. Then after that, you do a civil suit, and sometimes you can't even win in the civil suit. So we're saying we're not gonna keep coming by here. The people are fed up. It's like a powder keg here in New York City. It may be quiet now, but at any moment, there can be an explosion. This is Miss Spencer. She's not gonna answer your questions, but she's going to express how she feels.
I want justice for my son and my family.
To add to what the council member has said, we are going to be announcing marching and rallies at another time, but the community of East New York is fed up, and they're going to be able to be a problem if we cannot get justice regarding this case. This is a different case from any other case because this officer has a long rap sheet. Just like you look at other people's rap sheets, this officer has a long rap sheet. At this time, we will have City Councilwoman Inez Barron.
I just want to say that I'm here supporting Ms. Spencer in this ordeal. We had a meeting, yes, with the district attorney staff, and they said all the right things. We're going to be thorough. We're going to make sure that we carry this through to the end. But we have seen so often that the end result is not, in fact, justice for those who have been denied the opportunity to get the fullness of that justice. We're calling for the district attorney to bring the charges of attempted murder. We're calling for that because this sergeant fired his weapon twice. We're calling for this case to be brought to the fullness of justice, and we are saying to the district attorney's office, this time we hope you get it right, and that when we come to the conclusion, your recommendation as to what should be the consequences match that of what it is for someone who may be found guilty of attempted murder. We've been down this road a long time, many times, and we're looking to see now what type of justice we will come through at the end result. We're here to support the family, but as has been said, we're concerned about the historic cordial relationship of the district attorney's office with the police department. And we want to see what the result is going to be in the end.
At this time, we will have Minister Stephen Marshall liaison to Reverend Al Sharpton.
I just want to make one thing clear, that Mr. Santana is not a suspect of a crime. Therefore, I would trust that our friends in the media and those who are influential in our city do not treat him as such. Oftentimes, we see victims of such heinous crimes be brought out into the public and painted as something that they're not. Mr. Santana's history, nor what he's ever done in the past, is not the subject matter in which we are proceeding against. How do we expect to tell our children and teach them conflict resolution when those who are leaders in public safety does not display the same? I would pray that we would do the right thing, us being the people, and the district attorney will not fail us this time.
I want to say also, we're telling the police department, the commissioner, they owe this family an apology for handcuffing her son
That's right.
while he was heavily sedated
That's right.
and committed no crime.
That's right.
They handcuffed him in the hospital. We had to call the police chief of North, to tell him to take them damn handcuffs off of him because he's not the criminal. Cuff your cop. You want to cuff somebody.
That's right. Thank you.